All right, for all of these political developments around government, national unity, and of course what we've just read in terms of what is to happen in Parliament, we are now joined into this discussion by Cape Peninsula University of Technology political party brand analyst Kuhle Zwakala. Thank you so much, Mr. Zwakala, for your time this afternoon. So a lot happening then. Let's start here. 3 more political parties have now joined the government of national unity. A total number of 10 political organizations signed up for the pact. I mean, just give us your sense on how the GNU will work, given that many say it's not really a government of national unity, given the reports that we're reading of some consensus not likely being reached, but this is rather a grand coalition. Just your view around that.
Good afternoon, to yourself and the viewers. Look, I think the then ANC government has given the public so much material to blame it for many things. However, I think there are instances where the public then tends to be somewhat blaming the ANC for nothing really. Look, the reality is that there must be a government that must be constituted. What I find a bit peculiar with the opposition parties, I suppose everyone is opposition now with no dominant party with a simple majority. Everyone else, the conversation getting up to the GNU, everyone else was expecting the ANC to be speaking to them, right? Whereas in an instance where no one attains 50 plus 1, that then creates a platform environment of dialogue where parties need to engage. But I think even in that instance, political parties wanted to be engaged by the ANC, which is sitting on a 40%. There's another 60% that could have engaged to form a government. And that's why I'm saying I find it a bit interesting that it's the parties that would want to be engaged by the ANC. So if there weren't policy disparities or policy contradictions with the other 60%, those conversations could have been easily been initiated by the other parties. So I think the ANC, in short, has done a progressive thing here to start the must be a government, even though the people they call the sellout, there must be a government. And what the then ruling party has done is that they've spoken to everyone. They've not fallen for the blackmail of forming a black bias government, so to speak. So I think quite progressive from the ANC government. And I think the other parties now have soon realized that there must be a government because people don't vote for people to be sitting in opposition benches.
But what are we to make then of, the reports that we are reading, the DA and the ANC continuing to have these public brawls, as some call it, over ministries that, should be shared amongst the biggest parties and, of course, the smaller parties. I mean, these are 10 parties of the 18 that we know are sitting in National Assembly. I mean, more parties could possibly join this particular, unity. So what are we to make of, parties not really aligning with that document of intent that has already been circulated too?
Remember that political parties all had their own manifestos, which were overlapping in certain instances, which were really contradicting. So I think that they will need to go and revisit each and every party that seeks to contribute this. I think there will have to be compromises made because they'll all try and articulate what they promise their constituencies. So the contradictions between the DA and the ANC are not surprising. They were expected because of very apparent contradictions, for instance, when it comes to the issues of black economic empowerment, which seeks to redress political injustices, which, by the way, the DA is not concurring with that. So that was expected. Now, leaving this door open for other parties to become, it will neutralize this mess that may happen between the ANC and the DA. So the 10 that have joined now, they collectively formulate, I think, 70% or just above 70%. that is what we want, rather than a two-party state where you've got the ANC and the DA running the government. So I think it's quite progressive. It should then subdue any flames that may emerge from DA and ANC discussions.
Now, something else that, of course, has the nation, in an anxious kind of state is the announcement of cabinet by, President Cyril Ramaphosa. What do you firstly think is around the delay? Because, of course, we know that this was going to be a tough one, for President Cyril Ramaphosa, particularly as we're hearing that parties, are gunning for particular positions. And also, when are we likely to see that cabinet announcement being made?
Yeah, well, I think clearly there's something is going on behind closed doors. I think, look, the ANC, they too need to be realistic. This will have to be a give and take. I strongly believe that the cabinet should just apply, even though it's the president's constitutional right to appoint ministers of his choice. Historically, this would have been informed by party caucus, but now in this instance that it's a caucus of many parties. So surely the cabinet should be shared. I would think that the proportional representation rule should also apply. There's certainly a ratio that they can apply, as they do with seats in parliament, even though you would have seen that now the GNU memoranda, it says his choice. However, there needs to be consultation. So in a coalition situation that we're in, certainly the DA, second to the ANC, should be given ministers, and the other parties as extra that have actually joined the GNU. So when can we anticipate this? So that we were all waiting. We're anticipating this late last week, but clearly the discussions are ongoing.
Absolutely. Everyone is waiting for that announcement, I must say. Thank you so much, though, for your time, Mr. Zwakala. That's Cape Peninsula University of Technology political party brand analyst, Kuhle Zwakala.